Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How is everyone?
Assalamu alaikum. Doing good.
Glad to hear that.
Alaikum, everyone.
Alaikum salam, brother. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa
Walaikum
alaikum
assalam.
salam.
Everybody doing job.
So far, so good. Is anybody on here planning on being a part of the men's only conference today?
No, I didn't.
I wasn't
Which
aware
one?
of it.
Me either.
Hmm. Okay. I thought between the Lacey's program and Sister Manera's program and a couple of other programs that everybody's heard about it. So at 11 o'clock Central Time today, it's supposed to be 2 hours, noon Eastern Time to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Men's only Zoom conference. I don't know who necessarily set it up, but yeah, that's supposed to happen today.
Do you have the link information?
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat here in a second. I had to dig it out of my backpack, but yeah, I'll put that in the chat.
All right.
Right, I did upload that information into the chat. Oh, the facilitator, and I guess this is who the planner was, is Imam Firkin Muhammad. I'm not familiar with him.
Berkeley?
That's what it says, facilitator Imam Firkin Muhammad. You familiar with him, Nevada?
Huh?
Are you familiar with him?
No, no. Maybe it's from Burkina. Maybe it's Burkina.
I kind of doubt it. They got their hands full over there.
I'm telling you. Well, that's what men should do.
We'll see. I'm going to be a fly on the wall, see what's said. So it is 11 after on my clock. I was going to try to wait for Imam Talib, but who knows what he has going on this morning. So I'm going to ask Imam Tariq to open us up this morning.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
I mean, all right. So I reached out to Dr. Ali over the last 7 or 8 days, and both by email and by phone, the phone number that I have, which is to, I guess, the office, the physician's office or group that he works with. And by that same messaging, I'd gotten a hold of him before, left messages for him. I have not heard back from him as far as us being able to schedule a meeting um, regarding the Isaquina Credit Union. So we'll just keep our ears and eyes open for that response when that is going to be available. Secondly, thing that popped up in my mind today is that we are basically a month and a half to 2 months out from January of 2026 and the beginning of our seminars, webinars regarding financial education, etc. So January will be here before we know it. And I think it's probably a good time now to start thinking about our planning and promotion and all of those things to make sure that everything does go smoothly and successful when we start those programs in January. And just wanted to, I'm glad Imam Talib is with us and Brother Omar is here as well, that we can kind of talk about that and find out where we are, what we need to do as a group or individually to make sure that we're successful in this endeavor. So I'm going to kind of just throw the floor open to I obviously either of you and anyone else that has any comments on our upcoming events.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. One of the things, matter of fact, while I'm talking about it, I want to make some notes. One of the things I need to do is to get with flip calls to have them put a button let's see, wait a minute. What I'd like to get them to do, and you all can weigh in on this. Right now, the Zoom registration click here button is at the bottom of two flyers. The first flyer is announcing the 5-week webinar. Then the other one is collective conversations. And the only thing it does not do, and I don't know, okay, no, that's not what we want. What I'm gonna have to do is to get with flip calls and have them put something like register now right up underneath of or to be consistent, sign up now, because that's what the flyer says. The flyer says sign up today. So to have them put, sign up now or sign up here, right up underneath of the flyer, so that we'll start to register people for that class. Simultaneous to that, if I'm not mistaken, I am supposed to Um, I got to talk to Flip Calls and see once someone like signs up for the class, then they'll need to purchase the workbook. Now, my question to us is, and I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I'm thinking that we need to have, before they actually sign up, when they click the sign up here button, it should take them to a place that explains to them how the seminar is going to be conducted. One, it is 5 weeks. So, Omar, could you send, and maybe I can look before you send it to me, could you send me something, and I think you did already, that tells what's going to happen each week, and we'll have some information on there about the workbook so that people will be able to draw the correlation between signing up for this webinar, but you need the workbook in order to do it, the cost of it, and then, if I'm not mistaken, I was supposed to have Flip Calls to put I'm just going to say like a special button for purchasing the book. But I think the way they work is going to have to be in the form of like some kind of donation. Does anybody recall how that process works? Yeah, I think it worked in a way. Seemed like I think it worked in a way that Flip Calls doesn't. I don't think they offer a POS, a point of sale. But that's the only place where people will be able to purchase the workbook, because it's the only place where we collect money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense.
Okay. But those are two things that I can think of right now in the immediate that need to be done. So the sign up here button won't be an issue. What I need to pull together is I don't know what you call it. I'm just going to call it an explanation page that will let people know what is going to happen each week, to stress the importance of being there each week. Each week, I'm just kind of writing this stuff down. cost of the workbook. Um, and will this, and I'm also assuming, and maybe this will come on the back end. What do you all think in terms of people knowing that these webinars are going to be recorded? And I'm just assuming they are, that these webinars are going to be recorded. Well, they'll be able to go back and review, um, what they learned, what was being taught to them. Um, and my presumption is that these will be the only people who have access to that video, or
I would probably for, let's just say for a period of time, maybe, that they would be the only people that have access. But eventually, you would think that you want to catalog all of the work that we do in this particular area
right,
and make that available as an ongoing course to anybody that wants to purchase it now or in the future, even 5 years from now. Right?
right. Anyone who purchases the workbook.
Exactly. Yeah. Anybody that purchases a workbook, or there may be people who don't want the workbook because that's not how they learn, that they
Okay.
simply want to purchase the videos and be able
Okay.
to sit there and listen to the videos. Watch,
Okay.
watch and listen to the videos.
So now, can we?
Question on that. Question on that part.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should start with the purchase of the workbook. Irregardless of how they learn, they got the workbook. And they have access to the video. I don't think we should.
But that's you're talking about for like right now, like the next year or so, right? Because the workbook might be outdated 3 years from now, but the language may not be outdated 3 years from now.
All right. Well, when the workbook becomes outdated, are we going to upgrade it?
We can. I mean, that's a possibility.
If we're going to sell additional, or if we have additional classes, I think we should update it. And those that have the older version, we might give them a great discount to upgrade their booklet if they like.
Mm-hmm.
But for new people, they should buy the workbook.
Okay. I mean, I mean, if you have grandkids, if you have young adults under 30 that are part of your life, the way that they learn just doesn't, they have a hard time holding a pencil. They don't learn like that.
I understand.
And
I understand.
Things like that just turn them off. So if you're going to make them buy something that they're simply going to rest their coffee mug on, a lot of them are going to say no. Don't need it, man.
Well, let me ask you this. One, I'm looking at this group that you're speaking of now. That's not the way they learn. Therein lies the problem, because the workbook, the way I believe that, and Omar, you correct me if I'm wrong, the workbook is designed so where it's personalized, where you'll be able to see the numbers.
Mhm.
what you're paying in rent, what's going out in food, insurance, utilities, I mean, et cetera, all the stuff that's in the workbook.
Mhm.
You can't keep all that stuff up in your head. That's
And
why
you
people
don't.
are
You
failing
don't.
now.
You
They're
digitized
failing
it.
now because they're spending their money out of emotion without
You
even
did.
thinking.
You, Imam Talib, you digitize it.
You do what?
You digitize it, and when you turn on your electronic device and go to that particular file, it immediately pops up and tells you everything that you would be flipping through a journal to find.
So who's going to
So
digitize
that
it?
well, the same people that you want to write things down simply tap keys to enter that exact same information on their digital device, which then spreads and populates all their digital devices.
So how does that happen? I mean,
Oh,
in other words,
it happens.
how do we
It
translate that for these people? How do
mhm.
we translate the workbook for these people? I'm not.
That's why we have the seminars and the webinars. So when we have the seminars and webinars, let's just assume we're going from exactly A to Z by going through every letter of the alphabet. So first they get the workbook and they're sitting there at their desk very quietly with their number two pencil, with their workbook open, and they're waiting for the instructions to start, whether we do it via Zoom or however we're going to do it, or we're in a center in some city with 45 people sitting there waiting to go through the workbook, and then we're going to visually and audibly walk them through the workbook step by step. So if you're sitting at home on Zoom and you have the workbook, you're getting the same thing as if somebody's sitting in the physical audience. So that's how they learn the workbook. Well, don't you think that people who 90 days from now simply watch the video can also be walked the same way because it's the exact same instruction? We're going to be showing them exactly what we did for the people who were present day one of the class.
But they won't have the
So
workbook, right?
they may or may not have the workbook. They may they may do they may have a tape recorder. They may be sitting at their computer basically entering the information. They may watch the video 5 times to be able to 100% understand it. And then they either get the workbook, and this was going to be a question of mine because it has to do with fundraising, is we're going to have physical workbooks, or are we also going to have digital workbooks? Can we digitally deliver the workbook to people? Because if we can do that, then it bridges the whole gap. So you give them a digital workbook that they can work in from day one, if
Right.
that's what they want. Because
Right.
some people rather do that than have the physical workbook that they spill coffee on.
So
They'd
this would
rather
be
have
a
the digital
workbook.
workbook.
This would be a fillable workbook.
Exactly.
Or we can cut the chase and just put it straight to TikTok, and they'll believe us.
The whole, yeah, exactly. They believe it, buy into it 100%. And that's the truth. Unfortunately, that is the truth. If it's on TikTok, it's got to be real.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well,
But no. Let's not stop the momentum. What is
no,
being done right now by us and by you in your planning is exactly what we should be doing.
right. No, in other words, um, I get what it is that you're saying now. Um, I'm not stopping the momentum. I'm just kind of reviewing, and what I'll do is what I'm calling this explanation page. Um, I'll send it once I get something halfway together. I will, send it around to us for, any edits or additions or, things of that nature. Um, so, I mean, right now, I just want to have this page that will tell them each week what it is they're going to learn. Stress the importance of being there for each session.
Mhm.
The cost of the workbook, and this is not in any particular order, but I just lost my train of thought. The 5 week, that's 1, 2. How long are the Omar? How long are the sessions going to be? Oh, okay. He must have stepped away. I'm gonna just yes. In I also need to find out what time we're gonna, what time they're gonna be done. Do what time the sessions are going to be held, how long they're going to be. Um, they are these sessions will also be interactive. So when you are on the live part, the attendees will be able to interact with the moderator. Um, is there anything else we need to have on the page? Also, well, let's see. Well,
Just a couple of other. That was a good question. The question you just asked about, the timing and all that stuff. So this is something maybe we want to give deeper thought to. The other thing is when you're posting the information about the seminars, if we're going to use our traditional Zoom settings, like what we're meeting on this morning, I want to say I think the level that I'm on for our meetings is limited to 50 people. I need to go back and review that. It's been like 3 years, so 3 or 4 years. It's been 4 years, so I don't remember exactly if it's 50 or 75. I know that they keep prompting me to schedule to use their next level thing, which I don't have to buy into fully, but I can use it for special events. It gets up to 150 people,
okay,
right?
right,
So if we're going to stay with what we've got, we
right.
might want to say something like this is limited to the first 50
Limited,
people who register
right, limit,
or
right,
something.
or just limited space.
Right, limited space. And for this particular group of seminars or something you can do on Zoom that actually gives them some kind of a special, when they register, they get a special number. So that it's only the people that register who can be in attendance. It's like buying a ticket. It's free. It's the same thing as if they bought a ticket, right? It's exclusive to those particular people. I don't know if that's something we want to do, but if it is, it's something we can do.
Okay. Yeah. So limited space, and then um,
And the other thing is our expected audience. Who do we think is actually going to be in the audience? age group, education level, so on and so forth. Who do we think is going to be there? I mean, we're always going to be a little surprised, but who do we think is going to be there? Because that will inform you as to maybe when you want to schedule these webinars.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. There's a whole marketing piece that that we need to do around this. Because I don't really know how to phrase this, but people who we may consider to be in financial trouble, other than trying to borrow money from you, these are typically not people who are willing to reach out and ask for help. I mean, the majority of the folk that I think we're going after, they've been upside down for a while. Is there something that we can do or say that will that will drive them to us, that will make them want this? I mean, and I don't know whether we want to try to do this because I was thinking about doing this as a test. Is to give. I had thought about purchasing 10, 20 workbooks and giving them away to people who would attend the webinar, for them to be able to attend the webinar.
Okay, so here's my thing. All right. And I'm glad you said that, because I was going to bring this up, and then I was going to start ducking the eggs and tomatoes that were going to be thrown at me. But the my idea, and let's say the number was 20, if you purchased 20 workbooks, or you took 20 workbooks, and 10 of those workbooks, and this is a really, I think this would actually be a really good test. 10 of those workbooks is that you market them directly through Graceline as the first 10 people who register or something get a free workbook, yada, yada, yada. Do that. See what kind of response we get if we figure out how we can do that and measure how many people actually jump into the barrel trying to get one of those. The other 10 we take and we donate to CWSC for their annual fundraiser. And they might say for $5, you get the workbook and you get access to financial literacy workshop, yada, yada, yada. And they also can get a measure of the number of people that clamor after the workbook and the workshop. So it helps them raise money, but it also gives us an idea of some kind of market penetration that way as well. Name out there. So 10 and 10, both good causes, and it helps to promote, and it also helps to give a measure of market penetration.
So,
And actually, CWSC can put any price tag they want on it because we're donating them to CWSC to whatever money they raise. They can do what they want to as far as what people have to contribute to get the stuff.
so what about this? What about a promotion that they pay for the workbook, but if you attend the seminars, we'll refund your money?
I'm always against giving money back, and even when I do give money back, it's like one of those things that you have to file your claim to get your money back within 180 days, and in that 180 days, you also have to make a trip on Blue Origin and circle the Earth or something. And
Well, I don't know about all that. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this: if I purchase 10 books, or if someone purchases up to a certain number of books, it'll be for, let's say, the first 20 people who register and purchase the book.
Mm-hmm.
If they attend the seminars, and we'll know that they are in attendance because we know who purchased the book,
right?
Then their money would be refunded to them. Now, keep this in mind. I'm covering the cost of the 20 books. So it ain't like Graceline ain't losing no money. I'm trying to figure out a way to get people there. It's kind of like, I don't know if you all ever heard this story about the popularity that was and the buzz that was created around the Cabbage Patch doll and the pet rock, where these companies, where the maker of Cabbage Patch dolls paid people to stand in line. I think he paid them something like $5 to stand in line to go in and purchase the doll. And it took off. The same thing with a pet rock. You pay people to go in and, it creates this kind of buzz, because people, when you see a long line of people, your curiosity is going to be piqued. People just standing in line talking, and the line is moving up, the store is just crowded as can be. So I'm trying to think of I'm trying to develop some kind of concept that when this thing jumps off, we've got 20 people who are now registered. They've paid for the book, and if they complete the seminars, the 5-week session, they get their money is refunded. But the refund is not going to come from Graceline; it'll come from me. And it might be 10, it might be 20. I got to see what my money looks like when this jumps off. But
okay,
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, Adam has a comment, and then Sister Martha has her hand up as well.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
this is on a technical issue. Just a question. We have a $1,300 bill with flip calls, right?
Oh, we still do. Okay, I didn't know that.
And what they do, they deduct any money that's donated, they deduct that off the top, and that goes against the bill.
Oh, okay.
Just we haven't had much money donated lately. So I was thinking if they should be able to collect that money for the book, and that goes against the bill, right?
Yeah.
Just have to find out a way that they can collect when somebody registers and gets the book through the mechanism that flip calls has, that can go against our bill with them.
Okay.
Right. So I don't want to bypass that necessarily until we fulfill that obligation. So right now we the number one charity.
Oh,
You follow what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yes.
All right. Second thing, I think we should move away from trying to figure out who needs this service. You'll be surprised who needs it. And the people that need it is not visible. You know, you can't identify them. You can't point them out. People you're around every day, you don't know. So, but I do think there are people out there that need it, that would admit they need it and come to take advantage of the workshop, the seminars, the books, and things of that nature.
So how do we reach basically everybody, since we don't really have a target, which means that you really need a scatter gun, and hopefully with the scatter gun you are going to get the message to those who do need it, and then hopefully you have everything scheduled in such a way that those people can actually meet with you.
That's a good.
That's
That's the issue we got to deal with.
Exactly. So I mean, we have to take our community, in air quotes, out of the equation as far as really and truly being the only entity that we go after. So yeah, we need to do a lot of thinking about how do we market this thing? Who do we market it through? Can we partner with someone to market it?
Well, just real quick so that Martha can jump in here. We do know who the people are. I mean, if we believe in the statistics that we've seen, close to 7 out of every 10 people are living from paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
So, I mean, I look on this call right now, and if there's 7 of us, at least 5 of us are living from paycheck to paycheck. If not all of us.
We just happen to have the 7 that are the 7 out of 10.
Yes, sir. We represent that. Well, you one of them old Muslims. What did Elijah Muhammad say? Quit thinking, fast moving, right down to the modern time. So we are the 7. Sister Martha, go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh,
Opening my mic. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Alaikum.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, you're right, Adam. But straight to the point here on as Edward was speaking, our strategic process of connecting is, we've intentionally made avenues with Florida Conference, Muslim American, Tampa Bay Area Muslim Association, and their direct connection with the local residents when we were speaking about the who. and submitting to those entities can definitely generate the 20 or whatever, as we put it forth for those to become whoever wants to be involved in the sessions, receiving, paying for the course and the books. So it's an avenue of communication to get the 20 or however many numbers. That's my suggestion, that we're here.
Yeah, I thank you for that, because we need all the avenues that we can possibly get. I mean, I'm thinking off the top of my head, these New Freedom Network,
Mm-hmm.
Culture Con, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this kind of stuff, even though my two sons are without wives and have no children, it is still that age group of people who have a 20-year event horizon to plan their finances towards some ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
That those are the people I think about the most when I think about the people who should be drawn to seminars like this, like their life depended on it. If you're 60 and you're trying to put together a 20-year plan for your finances, man, we'll make do it for you every day. But that's a tough road to hoe right there. And if you're already 60 years old, but if you're 40 and you're married and you have a child or two or three, this is lifeblood to you. You need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you halfway think you've got it figured out, you need to be at these webinars or
Right,
in
because
person.
excuse me. Hey, I was thinking of in my head, I wasn't saying, but the direct connection with the universities and the locals. And when I was thinking of the locals, I was thinking of the neighborhood association president and our direct link. When you speak of people who really need um, whatever income level, I'm not assuming that someone bringing in 100,000 a year that they're not in debt. They don't have the management
The
skills.
hardest hit group of people financial wise, I mean, other obviously than the abject poor, or those on the, let's just say, the lower end of the socioeconomic level. The people carrying the most debt, who have the most anxiety about their financial future, are those that make around $200,000 a year. Believe it or not,
And
they carry the most debt, and they're the closest to financial ruin of
and the
anybody other than the abject
percentages
poor.
are just as high for those making $100,000 or more than it is for somebody that may be making 60,000.
Yeah, that's very true.
They're just as high. I mean, I may have the opportunity. I mean, I pray I don't, but I may have the opportunity to see, what that feels like, because I've got a tenant after 15 years who's decided to move. He bought his own building, and about mid 2026, he's gone. And I mean, I think I've got somebody to replace him, but I got to look out for those six figures I've been bringing in from the property. So I may be y'all may see me start to advertise 1-800 help Taladine.
You be advertising 9 months free rent just to get somebody in there. Get some cash flow going at some point.
Well, no, I mean, in other words, I got a backup plan. I mean,
All right. Good.
grandmama said that it's a poor rabbit that ain't got but one hole to go to. So I mean, my wife and I have already started talking about, what we could do with the building to generate, some income from, another business operation. So, and of course, by the time he leaves, I hope to be less in debt than what I am right now. I mean, my biggest thing right now is I'm in a maintenance and upkeep mode. So that's where most of my debt lies, just trying to keep up with those things that that I've done, and I do think that there may be a group out there of people who are 60 years of age or older that could benefit from this, because I've had conversations with many people who are retired, that I think could benefit from a workshop like this.
Yeah, my point wasn't that that there isn't any benefit for them. The greater benefit is going to come for people who have a longer time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. Right,
That's all.
right.
And Omar put something in the chat, and this I had a question for Omar, and then I want everybody to see what he put in the chat as well. The digitization of the workbook, how difficult would that be? And I know some people that do this kind of thing. If we can't do it ourselves, even using AI and all the new tools, fancy tools that we have through Adobe and so on and so forth, should we start maybe getting some pricing on what it would take to get that done? And Omar, I'd like your response to that question, and I'd like everybody to see what you put in the chat, and maybe let's talk about that as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about early on doing some subscription-based access to information. So that would
Mm-hmm.
be it could be what this discussion was revolving around. How do you access the modules beyond attending the webinars and the seminars? Those can be subscription-based access vehicles that can be used. And I was looking at a product that it's expensive. And I cannot remember right offhand. I have to go back into my notes and look at it. But they do have Adobe has a product that you can provide an access code, and the person can access videos, they can access specific information or material that's based on their subscription that they pay for. And they're paying, basically your subscription is paying for you to have access beyond the webinar and seminars. So it enhances the information in the workbook, like a journal, some other things that can accompany the kind of financial journey that people will be on. When it comes to trying to pay someone, I was thinking also we can do an app-based platform where someone can also pay to access the material via an app, right? For those folks
Right.
that's technical, savvy, can enter information using the app and be able to navigate. And it's self-guided, right? They don't need a person to kind of walk them through like with a webinar or seminar. they will be it will be a self-directed process.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, all of that needs to be on the table. I mean, obviously, if we had to do it tomorrow, we can't do it, but it definitely should be a part of our thought process of thinking
I'll,
about moving in that direction.
you know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask my wife about it, um, because she currently has a book out that people access after they pay for it. They receive a code that gives them access to the book. And I'm trying to remember, um, and I think the way she's got it set up, it gives them access for a period of time. It might be for a year. Um, it is non-transferable, so they can't share it. If I'm not mistaken, the way it's set up, it's unique to the device that you use. But I got to ask her. She understands it much better than I. Um, and any information I get, I'll share. I'll share back, with you all, particularly you, Omar, because you seem to have a better understanding of this. Um, and I'm going to communicate with you, Omar, after this this call, because I want to do something to expand the upcoming webinars to provide people with more information, um, that only you'll be able to answer. So like the length of the sessions, what time, um, they're going to be, and I'm assuming they're going to be are they going to be the same day and time each week?
Yes.
And will they be back
And
to back?
yes, they will be consecutive weeks. We don't need a break in weeks. They will be a consecutive 5 week program that they will walk through.
Mhm.
At the end of the webinar, they will be invited to subscription-based services. That could be one-on-one financial coaching. It could be access to a supplemental material. We talked about a newsletter that can be subscription based, that are weekly or maybe even monthly reminders about the methodology of the process, the CSC process, or the CSC method, that this class is based on. Being able to
Wait a minute. Whoa. What's the CSC method?
control, security, and choice.
Okay.
That we talked about, and I believe I sent out a document to everyone that kind of gives a
I think you
overview
did too. Yeah.
of this methodology, and outlines of each of the 5 webinars. You all tell me if you did not receive those documents, and I can resend them.
That's what I was going to go back and look at. What I'm going to be asking you to do is right now, when you go to our website, we posted the flyer that you did, that just says sign up today, Financial Freedom 5 week webinar, January 2026, build wealth on your terms. What I want to do is have flip cards take them to another page that will explain some of the things that you just finished saying.
Yes, sir. I can definitely if you all need me to pull together like a one pager or maybe a two pager on the training, the method behind the training, etc., I can do that. I can do a summary of the work, the five webinars, the methodology, and give a description. If
Okay,
that would be helpful.
that's it. Absolutely, absolutely. Because the book is what 30? Was it 32? The
The book, the workbook is 12 chapters, and I believe it's 120 pages, I believe.
Okay.
Is the size of the book. We do have it in a PDF version. I did in the discussion that was going back and forth, I did sense a desire to have a fillable format,
Hmm.
to a digitized book.
Right. Right.
And I can definitely explore some options on how we can turn a PDF. It can be done.
Okay.
Again,
Right.
it's a cost associated with it,
Right. Right.
but we can definitely explore how we can take the PDF and develop it into a fillable document that people
Right.
can type into, etc. Because right
That
now
that's
it's
what
just a
Everett was talking
printable,
about.
format
Okay.
of PDF.
Okay.
So I did hear that as a desire of a future iteration of of the workbook. So that that could be a future
Okay.
kind of path we can take about how we can digitize it, make it more accessible for younger people that want to be more technology savvy with this type of information.
Okay. And what was the cost again? What was the current cost of the workbook?
Yeah, the current cost of the workbook is $25.
Oh,
It's
25. Okay.
24, it's 24.99, but it's $25.
Okay.
And I believe if I'm correct, I have to go back into my notes, but I believe the PDF version of the workbook was 12.99. I want to say it was about 13, 14 bucks
Okay.
for the PDF download.
Okay. Uh, yeah, let's explore that. The let's explore what it is we're going to be doing starting in January, so that so that as we start to heavily, promote this more, um, we'll have a like an explanation page there, or a page that will, and even if it's two pages, something where they will understand what it is we're going to be doing, um, each week, and the length of the sessions, the time, and I think we had also, I don't know if you heard or not, but the current Zoom that we're on, um, we're going to have limited space. So Ed was not absolutely sure.
It's not limited. I mean, we've
No,
never
I mean that was
all the
without
stuff.
upgrading.
Well, no. What I'm saying is we've never exceeded 50 people
Okay.
in any of our sessions. We've never exceeded 50 people. So we've never even tested the upper limit of what we're
Okay.
working on. And that may still be the case in these webinars that we have. We may not go over 50 people. So to make it even, I guess my point was to make this seem even more as an exclusive is that you give out the impression that it's limited to a certain number of people. First come,
Okay.
first serve, first people to register, get in, that type of thing, right? I mean, marketers use that technique all the time.
Right.
If you haven't reserved your place by,
Right.
9 o'clock Pacific time on a certain date, it's too late. I mean, there's all kinds of mechanisms
Right.
for it.
I mean, just using the word limited space
Yeah,
would
exactly.
motivate people. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Right. So, and also the thing that I talked about earlier, and I think everybody heard this, is instead of having it be open, like our meeting this morning, and most of the stuff that we do is open to anybody that gets the link. If you get the link, you can join. But there is a mechanism within Zoom where only people who get a special code can actually join.
Okay.
And that can't be shared. I mean, whoever uses that code is the one that's using it. You can't pass it to your friends and all of you get in the door. It's only that one. It's a one-time use thing. So we can also do that to motivate people to go ahead and register.
Right.
And because I'm saying that, Imam Talib, so that when you're preparing your advertisement, your notice, whatever you want to call it, that that is a part of it, right? Limited space,
Mm.
registration ends at a certain date, blah blah blah, whatever you want to put on there to motivate people to act now.
Right. Um, so having said that, um, Omar, are we going to be able to create a flyer that any one of us can use as at our various masajids to pique the interest of attendees at our,
Yeah.
at our masjids?
Yeah, so we already have a flyer that is specifically for advertising the upcoming webinar scheduled to start in January. I know I have been sharing that flyer. We recently had a celebration at our for the 50th anniversary for our masjid about 2 weeks ago, and I had flyers. I had the information about Graceline at the table. I had the book at the table, and people were buying the book,
Okay.
knowing
So
that this
is
this
this the
webinar
flyer?
was coming up. And so there is definitely interest
Okay.
in this financial space. Um,
Okay.
there, I also let people know that stopped at the table that we can come to them and do a webinar or a workshop at their masjids,
Mhm.
or their whatever community center they want to do it. So we're open to invitation to come and actually do a physical workshop in their areas.
Mhm.
And a lot of people expressed interest in doing that. We had folks from Atlanta, Savannah, throughout South Carolina at this particular event.
Okay.
So I
Um,
think I agree with you. It's all about marketing. Um, and I think we need to figure we probably need to do is create a marketing plan. And again, unless and I'm nowhere near being an expert in marketing. Um, I have some friends and colleagues that are in that space, and I lean on them a lot to give me suggestions on how to promote an event or something like that. But we definitely need someone part of this board that is well versed in marketing strategies, and how that person can get involved with helping us market our products and our services. We definitely gonna need to do that, even if we just have them on a retainer, just to give us that some advice when we need it.
Okay. So the flyer that you have been using, is that the same? Have you been using the same flyer that I uploaded or I had Flip Calls upload to our website?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
that is the flyer I have been using.
Okay. Um,
Do you want a different type of flyer?
I'm
In
thinking,
that
I'm
particular.
only thinking of one that will have a little bit more information on it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, something that would have a little bit, and I'm not talking about just for me, but I'm speaking to all of us, um, because we know our individual communities.
Right.
And I don't know, uh, now that I'm at Masjid Muhammad, um, I don't know if what the flyer I have right now is going to be enough for them, because the leadership of the community, uh, they, how can I put this? Anything that is being offered to the community, they want to scrutinize it. It's not enough to just say we're doing a financial freedom 5-week webinar starting January 2026. They're going to want to know a little bit more about it.
I understand. Yes, I can create something with a little bit more description, expected outcomes.
Right.
Um, yes, I
Okay.
work on
That
that too.
and that would be enough. Because I'll be able to fill in the blanks. I mean, and because the well, I'm gonna kind of personalize this a little bit, but the people who your uncle has surrounded himself with, um, they're the ones that's doing all the scrutinization, and um, sometimes I think it's matter of fact, I can tell you in many instances where it's been overkill,
I get it.
and,
I understand. I
and
understand.
I've had to put at least one brother I had to wake him, had to shake and wake him a little bit because
No, I mean it's a power.
yeah,
Kind of you have to come through me to get,
right, to
I
get
get it and
right
understand it.
to get to the general. They're
Right,
like
right,
little
right, right. So
captains.
they're gatekeepers.
Right,
So I do get it and understand it.
right.
But yes, I can create a flyer that will satisfy, their um levels of scrutiny. And
Mhm.
also, in addition to the flyer, I can create a 1-2 pager that gives an overview,
Okay,
a description of each module.
right.
5-week module. I can give a description and the expected, the learning objectives for each of the sessions, and then
Right.
the expected outcomes. I can definitely do that. That should be enough
Oh hell
to
yeah, that's
satisfy
enough.
any maybe additional
Well,
questions that they may
Omar,
have.
Omar, do it this way, when you get a design, you show it to this person. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but show it to him and see what he thinks. And if he says it looks good, then put on the bottom of the small print, approved by so and so. And that would kill any criticism.
Yes, sir. Oh man,
Man, good God.
look, I had to I had to remind some brothers, man, when now that I'm back in this community, I told a couple of brothers, I said, look, man, y'all got to remember, I left up out of here for about 3 decades, and I come back and ain't nothing changed. It was one of the reasons that I left, and within that time frame, um, started two new communities, where we got stuff done. But I if I can get that, uh, if I can get that, we can keep moving on this thing, because one thing that I have noticed, every now and then I will bring up in a conversation the work that I continue to do with Graceline and what our ultimate goal is. And what I've noticed is there is less and less resistance. For example, I did not have to seek or get permission from anyone to put Graceline Community's brochures anywhere we have postings like that. So if you look on the community table, there's always brochures there. I even put some back where the treasurer's office is. I mean, where they collect, not the treasurer's office, but the counter where they collect the zakat and sadaqah. So I believe it's only a matter of time that I can broach the subject of the credit union to a larger group, and try to gain some traction, that way. There's been a lot of positive responses to what I do in terms of avoid a messy death. I did presentations. I was invited to come to two other presentations that other people were making, that the community thought it would be good for me to be there, because there were going to be questions about what it is that I do. So I attended a session that was held by a brother that I've known for some years, but I always knew him to be in construction and development. I had no idea that he's been working on being Muslim and using credit. How to read a credit report and the credit dispute process. And essentially what he does is he helps Muslims to straighten out their credit. Well, not just Muslims, anybody. To raise their credit scores. And so, I was invited to his presentation. And in fact, I'm going to check with him, because I was going to invite him to our meetings. And then the other one was, they had a sister whose father started a universal mortuary. She's pretty much taken over. She did a presentation on janazas, and I was asked to come back for that. So in addition to what I did on my own, I've been invited to two other programs, in case there are questions about what it is that I do. So they're warming up to me. And this is going to be a good time to raise this financial freedom workshops that's coming up. And then the next step will be to increase the membership of Graceline Community, where we can start considering a credit union in the Washington D.C. area. However that turns out. So anyway, yeah, this will be good if you can get just something to me that's a little bit more explanatory. I can start to print that out and to pass it out, and I might even get to a point they'll let me post it on the door so people will see it coming and going. So, and you right, Adam. That's what I'm gonna have to do. This flyer was approved by, and it had that at the bottom, so it won't be no question. Yeah. So I'm still where you say we still owe flip calls how much? You said about 1,300?
Correct.
Okay. So
Now, how does that, for me, how does that work? I mean, what are we getting from them for $1,500 a year?
They built and maintain our website. So, I mean, we can kind of look at it this way. And if you guys remember the initial discussions that we had with them before we paid them in the beginning, whatever they have built for us, and basically whatever exists right now, it's ours. If we walked away from FlipCause, what you see, I mean, obviously you have to get a new host, right? You have to get a new platform to host what you have, but what it looks like doesn't change.
So
You just have a new host that you pay. I don't know what you guys pay. Ones that have websites, what you pay for your website every year. Mine's really minimal. I think it's like $55 a year to host my website on the platform. So if we got to the point that it became a financial burden, maybe it already is. I haven't even looked at that thing recently. But if it got to the point that, I mean, I'm talking about the indebtedness. I look at at our website and FlipCause and do updates and stuff in there. But if we think that's too much, or we're not getting full benefit out of it, we can move to another hosting platform. That's not a problem. And then whatever we see when somebody looks at our website, I mean, we keep that. And we just, if for changes on it and stuff like that, we would need to, we would kind of be back to where we were before FlipCause. Is that you now either going to do it yourself to be able to make changes on your website, or you're going to pay somebody like we paid Sister Amira's friend to do things for us. So it could be 6 of these, half dozen or another, or it could be very inexpensive. Like I say, I can manipulate my own website and I pay $55 a year. And if I want to change something on it, I do what we do at FlipCause. I just go in and change something on it if I want to. And if I want it to really look nice, the changes I make on it, I get my son to do it for me. and he charges me nothing. So,
Mhm.
you know, and so it's up to us. I thought we had made the last payment in May or June or whatever that was, and then we were looking for another payment come May or June of 2026. I did not know we were behind.
I'm trying to get to the summer. Hold on a second. I mean, mm,
Yeah, I need to excuse myself for a moment. I'll be right back, inshallah.
Okay.
yeah, I think the in June is uh when that bill came up. Yeah, in June we had another invoice dated June 30th, 2025 for 1,500. And then there was a couple of donations since that time that brought it down to $1,200 and some dollars. Okay, that's how it works. Can y'all hear me?
So it's an advance payment, basically, is what you're saying. So what we owed in June and we're behind on is what would carry us to June of 2026.
Well, we had a balance on June 1 of $37. The invoice came down on June 30th for $1,500. So that
Okay.
moved the balance to 1,463.
So we had a $37 credit.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
And
Cool.
basically that's the way that worked.
Okay. So sometime between now and June 1st of 2026, we need to get that taken care of.
Correct.
How much
Okay.
was it?
Well, the annual bill is $1,500.
Right.
And that covers the services they provide for us, right, Deborah?
Mhm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When is this due again, brother Imam Adam?
June of 2026.
Okay. Okay, I will between now and then I will make my annual contribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So we're not in the arrears.
We're technically yes, but as far as it being punitive, no.
Yeah, they're not sweating it because I think they assume that we're
That
going
we'll
to
come
have
up with the
some
money.
donations
Right.
that they can pluck from.
Exactly.
And that was the 1,300 you said?
Well, now it's 1,263, I think it is.
1,263. Okay. Okay.
They're more optimistic about us than maybe.
Oh, I mean, I am as optimistic as they are. I'm just happy that they join me in my optimism.
Okay.
No, I mean, I really am optimistic. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not concerned about it.
Okay.
That's the least of our present day concerns.
yeah. We're just giving the reality where we are. It helps to know
Yeah,
that. So I want to, be on this end sweating it. So I just share the wealth.
exactly. I understand. I understand.
Oh,
And another thing, we got GoDaddy. What do we do with GoDaddy?
Well, we don't. I know we don't owe them any money.
Yeah, we do.
What do we? How do we owe GoDaddy some money?
Uh,
That's the emails, the
yep.
email addresses. That's it. The email addresses that don't necessarily work. Yes.
Well, they billed us $383.53. They tried to because we're on the automatic whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bank of America looking out for us. They declined it.
Okay.
Sent me a text
So
message.
this is interesting because I was wondering why GoDaddy was sending me notices.
Hmm.
And that went on for about 6 or 7 months. And I really and truly thought that it was a scam. But when I hovered, it actually was from GoDaddy. And I just thought it was an accounting mistake of theirs because prior to my current platform that my website is on, my website was on GoDaddy. So I just thought it was an accounting error on their part or some trick of theirs to kind of get me back or something like that. But because of the fact that you set me up as like what I think info at GracelineCommunityInc.org
Right.
on GoDaddy, and we were in arrears, they were legitimately reaching out to any contacts that they had. And that just this moment dawned on me. They weren't trying to scam me. That's legit.
Yeah, I don't know if I sent one of the things I sent it to Edward, see what he say.
Well, Edward abides by the collect fast, pay slow methodology of accounting.
Right.
So GoDaddy not resonating with me and my knowing that when I left them, I didn't owe them anything. They're low man on the totem pole, which means their emails don't get answered. Many times their emails don't get opened at all. So I'm sure they were very frustrated with me because the internet will tell you whether or not anybody actually opened your email or if they just hit delete. And all they were getting from me is deletes. Which of course happens in 90% of the emails that I get. They never get opened.
Same on this end.
All right. So okay. So we actually do owe them. See, this is another one of those situations where I don't really know if and I don't know if that's covered 1 year or 2 years of GoDaddy or 3 years of GoDaddy. I have no idea that $383. I don't know if we're getting any true benefit because I rarely ever I get stuff from flip calls. Like when somebody comes in, somebody accesses the website, I get a notice from flip calls. I don't otherwise get any notices of any other type of interaction with our website or with Graceline Community Inc. from any other sources outside of our group. if it's not coming from Flip Costs. And now Salesforce. Since we're signed up with Salesforce, now I'm starting to get stuff from Salesforce. That's it.
Well, I'm on
I
the
mean,
GoDaddy site now,
mhm.
and I don't know what that bill is about. Now, see,
it
we have two names: Graceline Community Inc.org and GracelineFCU.org. We haven't. That needs to be renewed if we want it. If I renew it, it's only $76. I'm not sure how they got $300 some out of this deal, unless it's the email. And it's something how they. I mean, everybody's in a money grab. Everything is going up.
mhm.
But I don't see that bill, so I'm not sure where that came from. Okay, I got a cancellation warning on three things.
Okay.
It says web hosting deluxe, whatever that is.
Okay. They can cancel that.
That's what I thought. Professional email team. I'm not sure what that's all about. Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's for the two email addresses. Great Adam at GracelineCommunity.inc.org and info at GracelineCommunity.org.
Yeah, info would be me. And do you get any emails at all at Adam at? When's the last time you got an email coming into Adam at Graceline?
Hold on a second. You sent out some flag defense rough draft?
A who?
Flag, it's from you. Flag defense rough draft.
Yeah, I did. That was what, a month ago?
October 15th.
Yeah, a month ago to yesterday.
Yeah,
Fantastic. My memory's better than I thought it was.
Then I got something from Rubani. God bless. Oh
Okay.
no, it was from Bank of America saying Rubani sent a donation. God bless you, brother.
Finally got it through.
But I get occasionally, but I guess I'm not. It hasn't been shared enough that I get them.
hmm
But it's still active.
Okay.
And right now, it's a 12 months renewal for $71.88.
Now, is that for both or is that for one?
That's for one.
So the other one's going to be exactly the same. So
Yeah,
140 something bucks.
right.
Okay. And I mean, I guess it is almost at some level we need to have the info at, because you need to be able to interact on your website, I guess, or whatever. Have that on your website so people can ask you questions about the organization. So we do need an email address, but I do think we might want to even search Gmail and see what their cost is, and look at Microsoft and see what their cost is, and any other source of business email and see if there's a better deal and if there's a more user-friendly deal for us. Just for some reason, I'm not feeling GoDaddy.
Okay.
Like maybe the technology giants have passed them by, and it's just easier, less expensive ways to handle that particular business than what GoDaddy's offering. Because I get the feeling GoDaddy hasn't kept up.
Mm.
So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
And the reason I'm doing that because all of them are changing the structure and trying to place the big money grab. And I found Gmail is just as bad.
That may be true.
They got their own system of money grab, and like I have they used to let you have certain things, and if you got it, you got it across all platforms. Now they are breaking down what they used to have. They used to bill for you as an individual email address. The Gmail is they're requiring you to spend more money than they used to. In other words, it's hard for me to describe it because I got 3 or 4 of them like that, like Adobe. I used to love Adobe.
Mm.
Now Adobe said, well, you can only use the Acrobat on 2 computers.
Right.
So everybody's getting that way. So we need somebody that can explain it and lead us on this thing before we just sign up for it. I don't have any problem letting GoDaddy go. Don't get me wrong. And if everybody says, "Hey, we need to stop this," if we need to sign up for a Gmail address, and if it works, then we can share it with flip calls and say, use this address to communicate now. So it's basically what everybody says.
Okay. Well, I think anybody that cares, let's do your research, and we can discuss it at a future date. I mean, right now they haven't. It's up for suspension, but we're not suspended. Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
And
Right.
I'll go ahead and make a donation to Graceline to cover the cost of the email for 1 year, which means
Oh wow. We have 9 months plus to do research and discuss.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on a second. So it works, and I'm assuming it works for another year. So, brother Talib, are you getting any emails on your Graceline email address?
No, not me.
You didn't check?
Not well, and only because I was never able to set it up right.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I wouldn't not that I wouldn't access it, because I mean my email address is, it's on there. maybe I'll get my son to take a look at it and see if because you sent me something in order to be able to do it, but I ain't smart enough to deal with that kind of stuff.
I understand, brother. I'm tired of me myself.
So maybe I'll get my son to take a look at it and see if he can't complete it for me. Because I think you might have emailed me something, instructing me how to do it, and I tried, but didn't happen. So I'll look for that email you sent and see if I can get my son to access it for me.
Okay, that'll work. I'm looking at your storage, email storage, and you probably got that one email I sent you on there.
That's one thing about that technology, man. It don't pay to lie. Because you showed me, well, I didn't get the email. Well, I just looked at it and it said you opened it up on such and such a day at such and such a time. Oh man.
Yeah, but they had to be renewed now. They do have to be renewed now.
Okay.
And like I said, it's $71 and some change.
Okay.
For 12 months. Yeah. All right.
All right. For those of us who are, well, I guess I'm going to attend. The brothers only meeting is roughly 6 minutes away. And I'm sure that everybody here is just ready to tear yourself away and jump right in the middle of all that. But just a heads up. What else do we need to talk about this morning, Graceline wise? Imam Talib, have you made any headway on any information on other credit?
I have not, but it is at the top of my list to do. I just dropped one of my responsibilities that will free up my time. I got less time to deal with something, but I do have some residual stuff to wind myself out of. But it is in the front of my mind to deal with it and be in a position to report back to us enough information so that we can start to have some discussion on this and perhaps being able to take the next step. But at this time, I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. So I did have a very brief, because I think they start billing at 15 minutes and one fraction of a second past 15 minutes. So I had a very brief conversation with a law firm that deals in securities transactions, financial securities, transactions relating to financial institutions. And the convertible note, subordinated debt instruments that were approved for fundraising or capital acquisition for credit unions. They're already in existence, obviously, for other financial institutions, but it's approved for credit unions. That is still alive. In other words, that is still a means of raising capital. The only thing that comes into question, and this is more of an financial underwriting issue as opposed to a legal issue, is that this is primarily focused on existing credit unions. So if you're an existing credit union, or let's say in our case, we're looking to acquire or take over, whatever language you want to use, an existing credit union, it's easier to create the instruments to raise capital in the capital markets if you already have an existing entity. But it is very much a real thing that you can do, or we can do, or whoever. So I'd put off for 2 years making that particular telephone call, even after reading the notices and everything. But yeah, it's still a real deal. So that's a viable option of being able to give to people who make a capital contribution to a credit union effort, that they get something tangible. In other words, they get a return on investment, and it's not just a donation. That's a big deal, guys.
Yeah, it is. I just came off of mute. Yeah, that is a big deal. Okay. And that can also serve as more incentive to get on this research on the location and availability of some of these weaker credit unions.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is good news. Okay.
Right. It is top of the hour. Is there anything else that we need to cover this morning?
No, I'm good.
Okay. If there is nothing else, Imam Talib, since your mic is open, would you close us out?
Yes, sir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal as inna l'insan lafi khusr illa ladina aminu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Alaikum
salam.
assalam.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.